Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Dameon Nelson coming to you here from MaxSportsOnline.com, the crossroads of sports and entertainment on the internet. Thank you for joining us here for this Pro Wrestling Report wrap-up of ECW for Tuesday, August 29, 2006. The show kicks off with Paul Heyman standing in the locker room announcing that it is his first match in an ECW ring. He is the founding father. He is the man who created ECW, the man who created his opponent, Sabu, and the match would be something worth seeing later on this evening. From there, we go to RVD versus Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly, a WWE transferee, over into ECW. RVD wins by disqualification. Basically, folks, that match was okay, and that's about it. More on those two later on as we progress through the broadcast here. And then we see a promo for Rene Dupree, who promises to be the most extreme wrestler of all time. You know, remember Norman Smiley in WCW when they brought him out into the hardcore division, and it was like Norman Smiley in the hardcore division. I think we've got a similar type opportunity with Rene Dupree in ECW. Give it a chance, folks. Let's see what happens with that. Big Show comes out and cuts a promo in which he says he is the most dominant champion in the history of WWE, not ECW. Granted, he has held all the championship belts, WWE title, world title, and now ECW championship. It was interesting to note, especially after seeing him on WWE Raw programming over the last few weeks, that he finds himself as the most dominant WWE champion in history. From there, it gets a little more wacky as he challenges D-Generation X next week in the middle of an ECW ring to come out for a handicap match. Again, folks, the lines are continuing to be blurred between the three brands, ECW, Raw, and SmackDown. We saw three SmackDown superstars last night on Raw in the main event. Now we're seeing an attempt to bring the two of the top Raw superstars over to ECW. It's difficult to maintain that distinction of three distinctly different brands when you're doing stuff like this. Very, very bizarre. And then the man who I had the privilege of seeing in his younger days, CM Punk, coming out into a match with Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards, the perennial favorite and original ECW superstar. CM wins via submission. Best match of the night on the card, folks, up until that point. CM Punk, again, goes over in that victory. And then it was a promo for The Marine, the movie which I said in the Raw wrap-up probably would be better than See No Evil, but at this point already, it is overpushed, and I will not see it. I think it's something that should be obviously sold on WWE programming, but it's being completely overpushed at this point. And then Matt Striker comes out, and what was obviously going to turn into a Sandman squash, but it didn't. Sandman did come out. Matt Striker getting the one-up on, the one-up on Sandman, and then leaving after stapling several staples into the head of Sandman, who was already bloody from smashing himself upside the head with a beer can, as he normally does. Got to figure out a way to get the Ode Enter Sandman music from Metallica back for Sandman. Until that point, he's just some guy who smashes a beer can on his head with a stick in his hand, to me. Sabu then speaks again. I still say, folks, this man should not speak. It is ruining his character to speak. Picture it this way. Think of Friday the 13th. What if Jason Voorhees spoke? Exactly. And then the main event, it's Paul Heyman versus Sabu, another melee of a main event. I think Dusty Rhodes may have been involved in the booking of this finish, as Paul Heyman does get the victory over Sabu, only after the interference of Heyman's hired henchman, Rob Van Dam, Hardcore Holly, and of course the Big Show. The most interesting note of that whole exchange at the end was the Alabama Slam from Hardcore Holly on RVD through a table to the floor. Match that told a story at the end, really summed up the show pretty good at the end of the ECW broadcast for this week. And this, folks, is your wrap-up for this week on ECW. Make sure you tune in later on this week right here on the website for the debut of the Pro Wrestling Report. It will be myself alongside Meathead. Send us your email, questions, comments, concerns. We will address them on that particular broadcast. Folks, thanks for tuning in to the wrap-up. Until Thursday night for TNA, we'll see you here on MaxSportsOnline.com. So long.